Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It has been extremely busy the last couple of months. We've been hosting laning events and having breakfast meets. So much so we've not had much chance to fit in our technical videos that we have done usually on the channel. So yeah, firstly, very warm welcome to all our new subscribers. We hope you're enjoying the videos. If you haven't done already, head over to Facebook, type in Frenchie's Road Trips. There are two pages. There's a generic page and there's also an event page that we put on there, our breakfast meets and our laning events that we host. So you're more than welcome to join us on there, and hopefully we'll see you at an event. Today's video is all about the Discovery Sport, the 2015 2.2 litre diesel, 190 horsepower, believe it or not. It's the same engine, it's the SD4, same engine as what was in the Freelander when they stopped production of the Freelander 2. Some units were left over, they chucked it in the Discovery Sport, and then after so long, then Land Rover then decided to put their Ingenuine engine in, and that's when everything started to go wrong. This video today is a technical video on the Discovery Sport, and it is how to change the PCV valve. Believe it or not, we've already done this video twice already, and once was on Ben's Freelander 2 and once was on my old Freelander 2 that I had at the time. We're doing it on the Discovery because it's developed a hissing noise and we believe that it's coming from the PCV valve. We've checked all the induction hoses, anything to do with the air system, air intake system. We've checked all those, we're happy with all those, and we're not convinced that it's a hose. So we are heading to the PCV valve. It's due replacement. The car's done 120,000 miles. So it's due it already if it hasn't had one already, and there's certainly no documentation to suggest that it's been done. So it's good practice to have it replaced. Let's get on with the job, and we hope you enjoy the videos. See you very soon, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Take care, cheerio, bye.
So the first job is to remove the air intake pipe using a 7mm socket to undo the two Jubilee clips. So you undo the first one from the airbox and then you move on to the turbo pipe. Actually, there's a difference on this, isn't there?
Is that why?
There's this. Once you've undone the Jubilee clips, there is a pipe buried down beneath that will need to be removed too. It's a bit fiddly to remove the pipe, but a bit of wiggling and it comes free. Once the bigger pipe is out of the way, it's easier to get access to the smaller one around the back. You undo the smaller one, but it pinches top and bottom and pulls out. So next it's time to remove the engine cover. There are two bolts for this. One's a 10mm that I'm undoing now, and an 8mm bolt down the lower left. Once you've undone those two, it just pops off. And whilst you're taking the engine cover off, there's a bolt down the back to just to loosen off on the turbo pipe.
So stop it and stuff. Stop the recording and, you know.
With all the bolts removed, the engine cover pops off with two poppers here and one more here. Once removed, also remove the foam sound deadening. With the engine now fully visible, I started to remove the oil separator pipes. For these it's just a clip and you'll need to just prise it open. There's one here. They are a bit fiddly, and then there's one here too. There is another clip that attaches that shorter pipe to the PCV valve. I tried to see if there's any room for me to get it off there, being lazy without removing that turbo pipe, but as it turns out you need to remove it. The plug I just took off there was from the common rail, and then I removed the camshaft sensor plug too. These will need to be removed later on. With the two pipe clips undone, the plugs removed and tucked out of the way, I now move on to removing the pipes themselves. To do this I use a little pick just to get underneath, which makes it a little bit easier to pull them off. Once the pipe has been removed, you get access to this little white sensor here. That is the camshaft position sensor, which will need to be removed as it's part of the PCV valve. To remove this, it's a 4mm Allen key, which you will need to use on a socket extension, as a normal Allen key won't fit. There's not enough room. So now I've removed the camshaft sensor, I move on to unplugging the common rail pressure sensor. Using a little pick, you can just lever the little latch and pull it towards you. Whilst I'm here, I also removed the fuel line from the common rail. A little tab you press in and again pull the cable towards you. There's also a little vacuum pipe you'll need to remove. It attaches to the EGR pipe by a 10mm bolt I'm undoing here. It also clips in at the back of the PCV valve. I also undid the bracket at the back. This is held on by two 10mm bolts, and it's just a bracket that holds a few sensors and cables together.
Because we're out of memory. Have it done by then.
Should have. But don't do what I did and drop the bolt down the back of the engine.
These little screws. It's gone down there.
So now for the common rail. You will need to loosen or slacken the injector pipes out of the way. To do this, undo the nuts holding them onto the injector and the common rail using a 17mm spanner.
Is that better? That's better. Do they have to be torqued them or just tight?
Yeah.
Yeah, my plan is then I'll be able to zoom in, like you say.
Oh yeah.
Like when you're doing a specific thing, like undoing stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll need a thing for here, zoom in, you know,
Yeah.
make it a little bit more, you know.
looking at the common rail from left to right, there are 4 pipes, one for each injector. The 5th pipe at the very right hand side goes to the high pressure fuel pump. This will stay solid as you can't get to the other end to slacken it off. With the common rail removed, keep it covered up to stop any dirt getting inside. Now you can move on to undoing the 9 8mm bolts that clamp down the PCV valve itself. I've been lazy here by not removing the turbo pipe, which has made things a little tricky. But as you'll see, it will need to be removed.
I suppose having all these other tools helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's useful. I see a bit there. So these are nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
After you've undone them all, I'll have to change the battery.
Oh, okay.
We're on 36%.
Okay.
Yeah, watch where your head is. Yeah. How many are there? 5?
9 I counted.
9?
There's one more. No, there's 2 more over there.
Oh, look.
See, this one's got the foam pads, look.
Yeah, fair. It'd be interesting to compare it to the other one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see here, look.
Right, it should lift off now then.
Okay.
This is where I now lift out the PCV valve. But as I said earlier about leaving the turbo pipe in, this is where I need to remove it. There was one more bolt I'd missed, a 10mm that holds the cam cover to the PCV valve. Undo this, along with the removal of the turbo pipe, and the PCV valve should just lift out.
It's loose anyway.
That's not good. Wonder if that's what the hissing is.
I don't.
So to remove the turbo pipe, you first need to remove the driver's side front wheel to gain access. This next bit is tricky to film, but on the lower part of the pipe there are two clips to be removed. The pipe itself then also goes into the turbo and is held in by a Jubilee clip. This will need to be undone using a 7mm socket. These fuel lines you can see at the top here just clip into those clips to the right. They can pop off. Take the pipe out of the turbo and wiggle it out through the top. It is a bit tricky.
Difficult at all, was it?
And so finally, with the turbo pipe out the way, the PCV valve can be lifted out. It might be a bit tight, so may need a bit of persuading. And there we go. Make sure to retrieve any seals and clean up the edges ready for the new one to go back in.
Right, finishing there for a bit.
Yeah. And so now's the time to put in the new valve cover. To put in the new valve cover, it's the reversal of what you've just done. But one thing to note is when replacing the camshaft sensor, you will need to measure the gap with the 7mm drill bit. The gap is between the sensor itself and the cam cover. So before replacing the sound deadening and the engine cover, run the engine up and check for any leaks. It will crank a few times before starting, but this is normal, and that's because there's now air in the system. Once you're happy there's no leaks, replace the sound deadening, replace the engine cover, and that's job done. Hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again very soon in another video.